Alright, so this is my take on what is the problem with Valorant right now. So, and like society in general. So I'll be talking about like in Valorant there's two different things to think about. The first one, which is human decency with like alongside being generous. And there's the there's the aspect of thinking and game sense, right? So I'll start with human decency. So Valorant is it's a it's a 5-player game, tactical 5-player tactical shooter. But then the thing is, if it's a tactical shooter, then you have to what? You have to first like strategize. You have to strategize, and you also have to plan, communicate, etc., etc. And the problem with ranked in general is that, like, firstly, ranked doesn't really endorse. There's no such thing in there's not a thing in ranked that actually like enforces uh like these two like aspects of the game. So what I mean by this is that when you get into a Valorant ranked game, you go in with 4 different people that you don't know. Like, unless you're not solo queuing, of course. But other than that, you get into a game with 4 people that you don't know at all, and you just immediately start to be able to talk to them and like calm and whatnot. But what I've been noticing in Valorant ranked is that people, like, of course there are some people that like to talk, are nice, and are just like good people in general, but most of the time people don't even talk in ranked, and the only time they talk is to criticize, or if someone does something that is like quote unquote wrong in their point of view, they just type in chat like this, or like, you know you probably seen these like in your rank games. And what I want to ask is that, are you really the person to be criticizing these people when you probably aren't even that good of a player yourself? Like, sure, you might be top fragging, but you always have things to improve on. Like, this talking about human decency, by the way. Like, why do you feel the need to put down other people just for your own satisfaction, when you can do better things, such as like tell them what's wrong, or just ignore it? Like, of course, like, I'm talking about human decency. So of course, if you're with like a 3 stack or a duo, you're probably gonna be calling on Discord. And if you call on Discord and you see some fucking like random ass teammate doing some idiotic shit, then you can obviously laugh and like you can laugh and like shout at them to like the people in your Discord call, because it doesn't affect that person in general. It doesn't. There's no direct. You're not directly like saying these things to the other teammate. Like, you could say, "Oh, I have my friend here," so I can say, "Oh, let's say it's Jim. My God, Jim, look at this guy. This guy's shit. This guy doesn't know how to play." But I'm not saying it to him, is it? There's a difference. Like, you could say this, and you could immediately go to that guy and be like, "Hey, nice try. You could have done this better, though." Like, see, you if you want to have like, if you want to shit talk them, then you can do it to your teammates or to yourself. Like, to yourself, you can tell yourself, "Oh, this guy's really bad. I'm not gonna play like him." But you have no reason, nor are you entitled to put that person down, because most of the time I see people going like, "Oh, hey, Sage, you're fucking dog shit. Uninstall the game." And from that moment on, all the mistakes and all the rounds you lose will automatically, like, the blame will automatically be diverted like to that one person you like started to blame, like, from round 1. Like, that's the problem with people's mentalities. They want to find a scapegoat for every problem that they run into, like in life in general, or just in like specific things like Valorant. Talking about ranked, like, if you're in a ranked game, and if you want to really like win a game, then wouldn't it be better to save energy on criticizing other people and just trying to be better yourself? Like, that's just what I don't get. And I'm convinced that some of these people, like these 13, 14-year olds that play ranked, do not have a father figure, because all they do is scream in the mic and say slurs, which doesn't even make sense. Cause why? Just there's no reason why. It brings you down. It brings them down. It makes you a shitty person. It makes them feel bad about themselves. It makes them angry, so that they're probably gonna shit talk back to you, and it's gonna start a chain reaction where you guys are arguing for no fucking reason at all for the entire game, right? So just don't like start fights. Like just don't criticize people for no reason, all right? Like I see so many. Okay, and there's another problem. Like, if, say in round one, you don't like the sage, or like someone doesn't like the sage, and that someone like blames the sage for, I don't know, doing a shit wall, and all the other people in that team also did shit, but then they don't want to be blamed themselves. But there's a guy already being blamed, which is the sage, which is the current scapegoat. So what do? They all jump on the fucking bandwagon and start criticizing the sage, even if they're shit. They don't want to be blamed. So they just keep on criticizing the stage for the entire game, and that fucking like that really brings down the mentality of the stage. By the way, I know this because I experienced it firsthand. Like the process of becoming like a victim to a bandwagon, it really fucking fucks with your mentality, like genuinely. And like parents in general like should really tell their children, or like from a very young age, to be nice. Don't like be efficient, not even be nice. They should at least be taught to be efficient, unless their parents are fucking dog shits. Like, be efficient. Come on, don't waste your energy on criticizing other people when you can be a better person yourself. Like like parents should tell their children to like really have a good social status, because like I genuinely wonder what people like who shit talk in ranked and squeal like a little pig foaming at their mouth, like act in school or with their friends. I sometimes wonder who they're friends with, how they act when they're with their friends. Do they even go outside? How do they treat their teachers, their peers in real life? Like, you don't shit talk people in real life when they make a mistake. Like, sometimes people do, but that's just a shitty thing to do. So if you don't do it in real life, why do it in Valorant? Right? It translates. It's both a social, like, quote unquote, a social gathering. Like, even though the idea is different, it's both a social gathering. So there's really no point in trying to like trash talk other people if you're not like, if you don't have any like anything to back it up, because you're probably not doing that well yourself either. Like, you're probably not the best player ever, or you're probably angry because your heart's stuck, which means you're just not that good of a player in general. So that's the first problem of ranked Valorant, like that people are just really like bad humans. And secondly, while I'm playing Valorant, there's a lot of problems in the ranked game mode. So what I want to ask is, in rank, there are like each subcategory of rank, which is what, iron, there's silver, gold, plat, diamond, ascendant, and immortal, radiant, right? In order to progress from iron to silver to gold, plat, like, and so on, you will have to improve. Yes, like the basic idea of climbing the ranks means you have to improve from playing at a level of iron into playing at a level of radiant. So what I mean by level constitutes like different things. There's like thinking, like game sense. There's aim, there's comms, etc. But the thing is, what I'm noticing, because I've been through like all the ranks, so then what I noticed is some people are in diamond and not like, some people are in like these ranks, and when I watch them, I really like have to ask them the question, like, how did you get to this rank? because some people, like, when you spectate some people, they really don't seem to know what they're doing. Like, this might be kind of like contradictory to what I'm saying here, because I'm saying you shouldn't like criticize other people, but this is under the assumption that, like, for them, like for the people that are like really bad, like, how did these people get to ranks such as what, ascendant, immortal, when I look at them, they really don't think to know what they're doing. Like, when I play with my friends in gold, like, I keep asking like my friends, like, I keep telling my friends, it seems like they're making all the right decisions for all the wrong reasons. Like, sometimes what they do works. It's really stupid, but it works. Why? I have no fucking clue. But it works against players like me because I really just don't expect people to do that. Like, they might just swing out on like a do swing out through a molly while on like 30 HP and get a kill on the diffuser on its last HP. Like, sure, high ranks might do that sometimes, like situationally, but most of the time, no. You don't do that. You spam at the smoke, but they don't really think about what they're doing. They just feel like it's right, but most of the time it's not right because they're stupid. They're in ranks like plat and diamond. It's not high rank. Like, sure, it's higher rank than iron and silver, but it's not. They're not that good. Okay, and when you climb these ranks, you have to become better. You have to improve your game sense, improve your aim. But some people in this rank do not really have the game sense to prove like that they deserve the rank. Like, for example, some players I play with in Diamond the other day. I was in Plat, and there was this Ascendant guy that was in our lobby, and he was playing. Well, basically, he was playing autopilot. He was on autopilot, just doing things that didn't really make sense. And when I asked him, "How did you get to this rank?" Nicely, by the way, like, it wasn't being like sarcastic or anything. He just really got mad at me and he said, "You're Plat, I'm Ascendant, therefore I must be better." Now that's a really staple problem that we have in Valorant. They think that rank, this idea called rank, really defines like your skill level, which sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Like, there are some players that solo queue, like, bot frag every game on like smokes or something. Yes, they bot frag every game on smokes, and they just they quite literally get carried by that her jet or uh like one of those really good jets, and sometimes they genuinely do get lucky and climb the ranks. But then when they do climb the ranks, they don't deserve to be there because they got carried and boosted. Like, you might think that they cannot like really deserve, like, they deserve that rank because they solo queued, but like, some people genuinely just get lucky teammates. Like, some people genuinely just get the duelists that drop 30 bombs, 40 bombs, and without them having to like really think about what they're doing in order to rank up, which is a problem also. So when they queue with lower ranked people, they genuinely believe that themselves, like they themselves are better than these low ranks because they're in this higher rank. Even though that they're dropping like lower kills than them, they still believe that they're better. And just because their rank is higher, they believe that what they say and what they tell these low ranks to do is the correct answer, which is just not. Like, there was this Ascendant guy like trying to tell me what to do, trying to micromanage when it was just not working. So then I asked to change it up, but then he goes like, "What you're saying is stupid." Do you understand like the problem with rank now? It's unfortunate, and if you want to rank up, you need to start thinking. Like, think before you do any action at all. Like, think, where should I go? If for example, bind. If my teammate gets a fast pick like on in the first 5 seconds of the round into the round in like shower, then what would that cause the enemy team to think? Will that lure some players to rotate? Will that lure like people from short to actually watch shower instead of when they're watching short? Will they where would the most vulnerable spots be? Or where would the most vulnerable spots be created when the shower guy is dead? Right? This should be happening in your mind as you play the game. But some people, when they get a kill showers, they just immediately just rush through showers into the site without any like thinking. Like sometimes it works, but situationally, right? It's really situational, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, they just think unlucky. But it's not. It's not unlucky. You could have won that round if you just thought for like a few seconds more. Like, and even the IGL, what like, I know they're not that like they don't communicate much in ranked, but people should still say something like, "Oh, I killed the guy's shower, and Viper was always playing like Viper, Brim, and Sky was always playing B on bind." I think at least the Sky or the Brim, like one of them is gonna rotate into A site. So why don't we try and make some noise like B long, try to lure them back, and then fake the fuck out of B and immediately rush A. But this thought process just doesn't work in ranked. Like, so I want to ask them, how did you get to this rank? Did you get boosted? Did you like buy your account? Did you get lucky? Because like the rank system, there's no way. Okay, there's no way for a rank system to really justify the ranks by any means, because rank is just winning. It's just a matter of winning. If you win, you gain RR. If you lose, you lose RR. If you get more kills, you get more RR. But it's not like you lose RR for being carried. If you get carried, you still win. That you still get RR, which is a problem that you just cannot fix. So then people have to improve, but people don't want to improve because that's just the mentality of Valorant players. They just think if I keep playing without thinking, if I play for a long time, I'm gonna improve. Yes, you will improve if you play for a long time, but the rate at which you improve, if you start thinking about what you're doing, is extreme. You really understand. You really have to understand like what the game is. You have to understand what the point of Valorant is, in order to try and like get rounds, get kills, rank up. But some players just don't do this, which is sad. Even in pro scenes, I'd say, even in challenge, like some people I know that try to go pro, like when I look at like when they are like telling me about their thought process, it's just no. Just they just don't. Even people that call themselves pros sometimes don't think that much. So that's like a really big problem.